Hi, my name is Sarah Cogan, and today we're going to be sewing a gift bag for a bottle. What you're going to need is about 5 yards of ribbon, a 1/4 yard of fabric, some wax paper, a tracing wheel. You're going to want a ruler, a pencil, a seam ripper, a pair of scissors, some straight pins to pin your fabric together, and some push pins to pin your fabric and your pattern to the table. So to begin our project, we're going to start by laying out our pattern. You want to make sure that you move your pattern as close to the edge as possible so that you can maximize your use of fabric. Now that you have your fabric and your pattern lined up, we're going to go ahead and insert some tracing paper so we can transfer our pattern onto our fabric. Great. I'm going to go ahead and pin it down to keep it in place. So now that we have our pattern pinned out with our wax paper in between, I'm going to go ahead and start tracing it out. So I'm going to take my tracing wheel with the ruler and just follow the lines that I created. Now that we've traced out our entire pattern, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up so we can go ahead and start cutting it out. Now that we have our fabric cut out, we're going to go ahead and zigzag or serge around the edge of our fabric. So now that you've serged around your fabric, you're going to go ahead and mark 5 inches down from your seam on your short sides. And you're going to do that in all 4 corners. Once you've done that, go ahead and pin on your seam to your mark. So now that you've finished pinning out your corners, let's go ahead and give it a press real quick and then go to the sewing machine and sew our 1/4. So now that you've sewn your seams up, we're going to go ahead and pin on our first seam line. And once you've finished pinning, go ahead and give it a nice little press. So now that we've pressed our seam, we're going to go ahead and fold it one more time. Go ahead and give that a nice little pin. So now that you've folded your top down, you've created a casing for your ribbon to go through for your drawstring. So the next step is to go ahead and pin your side seams together. And once you've pinned them, you can go ahead and go to the machine and give yourself a nice straight stitch down both sides. And you want to end at your first horizontal seam. Now that we've sewn our side seams, we're going to go ahead and turn our fabric inside out. So now that we've finished our bag, the last step we have to do is put in our ribbons to make it a drawstring. So you're going to need about 2 pieces of 30-inch long ribbon. So once you have your ribbon cut, go ahead and put a safety pin in it. And what this is going to do is it's going to aid you in guiding your ribbon through your casing. So go ahead and ease the fabric over the safety pin and just stick it through. Once you get to the other side of the casing, go ahead and feed it through the other side of the fabric so that by the time you're done, you've created a little U with the ribbon. Then you can go ahead and tie it off. And I like to cut the corners to make it a little more decorative. So once you've tied off both of your drawstrings, you're done. Well, thank you for sewing with me today, and I hope you enjoy your gift bag for a bottle.